All right, everyone can see the slide, is it? Full view, eh? Irfan, can see full view?
Can, sir.
All right, okay. Okay, good morning. We will continue our lecture today for industrial design topic. And then this topic, you can refer, same as before, we use a product design and development book from Kalurich. You can see in the chapter 11. Okay, so we already cover product architecture. So I believe you did your review, and then you will understand more better in the product design architecture related topic. And then today we go for industrial design. This is quite a good topic actually. It's we will learn about how industrial design will help in terms of process design, how the product can be more what we call it marketable, sellable, and then we'll have also we cover the what we call it, the role, the process, the quality assessment, and then this I hope at the end of this chapter you will relate how you can use the ID or industrial design what I call it parallelly or simultaneously with design process, because this design ID design will give more what I call it knowledge to you to get all this information during design process. All right. So in ID design, as I mentioned just now, so we need creativity to what I call it, to collaborate with the process design process. So you can see here the example from this phone. This phone in the books 11-1. So the RAS, the model of this phone, we call it RAS model phone. Design emerged from the product vision to be thin, because you can see the previous design from Motorola, the phone is very thick. So the vision is to be thin to win. That is the Motorola vision that time. So considerable thinner than other mobile phone. That is the spirit, the vision on the market and striking the iconic new form for the design process. This design required the new architecture. You learn the architecture, product architecture. There has modular, there has integral design product architecture. So they need new form, new product architecture. So the entirely distinct from the existing platform. You can see the existing one. They have you can see the modular type here. They have different chunk here, but they need different type, different form, and then using a product new design platform from the existing one. So after the introduction in 2004, the customer judged this is a ultra very thin product from the Motorola, the RAS phone, become famous. They will the first time the Motorola introduced this flip phone in 2004, and they were the sale quick successful. After the release, they become famous. In US, the Hollywood celebrity was shows using this product, and then surprisingly, the Motorola expectation, the sale reached at over the million unit per year after their launching. And then this success can be attributed from several factors. You can see here they have a small size, weight, performance features, superior ergonomic, durability, materials, appearance. That's all contribute to the what I call new design, new things form. And then this RAS development team from the Motorola, they will include in the development time, there was include electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, material engineer, software, and manufacturing engineer as well. So whose contribution were instrumental in development the technology and manufacturing process that allow the product to achieve form factor, the new design, performance, weight. And then, however, this contribution cannot achieve without industrial design. Who define the size, who define the shape, who define the human factor in this design. So they will innovate the new ultra thin foam for Motorola. So that is how the what you call it, the industrial design take a part in this process. So what is industrial design? So the industrial design, according to Industrial Design Society of America, ISDA, ITSA define industrial design as the proportional service that creating and developing the concept and specification and optimize the function, values, and appearance of the product, and the system for the mutual benefit of the both user and manufacturer, This definition is broad enough to include development team. In fact, industry design focus their attention upon the form and user interaction of the product. So that is this industrial design definition. And then the goal of industrial design, according when you refer to the books from Uris, you can find that Dreyfus in the, according to Dreyfus, 1967, if I'm not mistaken, they list 5 critical goals. They list 5 critical goals that industrial design to achieve when developing new product. There is 5 critical goals need to achieve. So number 1 is product utility. Product utility, that is the product's human interface should be safe, for example, should be safe, easy to use, and intuitive, for features. For their features should be sharp, and so that communicate in function to the user. They will communicate to function to the in terms of safety, everything. And then one more is appearance. Appearance, form, line, proportion, color that used to integrate to the product, into the pleasing wall. And then easy to maintenance. Product must also be designed to communicate how they are able to maintain and repair after sale, for example. So easy to maintain. And then low cost. Form and features have a large impact. On tooling and production costs. So this must be considered jointly by the team members. And then communication. I forgot just now, communication here. Communication, product design should communicate each other. Product communicate with the corporate design philosophy, for example, because company, they have their mission, their vision. So they need to, they have a corporate color, for example. The communication communicate using the corporate design philosophy and mission through the visualize the qualities of the product, for example. So I will explain these all things later on in next slide. And then in industrial practice, designer receive additional exposure to basic engineering, for example, so advanced manufacturing, fabrication process, and common marketing practice. Their ability to express idea, for example, visually can facilitate the process of concept development for the team members. And then industrial design may create most the concept, sketch, model, and rendering used by the team throughout the development process, even though the process development come from the entire team. So that is very what I call it, the goal, the critical goal the ID can contribute in the development of new products. And then from this figure, you can see that the values of investment in ID for a variety of product. Both the expenditure and on ID and the percentage, ID and the expenditure and percentage from the ID, and the product development budget, invested in ID are shown in for consumer. You can see show for the consumer and industrial product in various industry. So this statistic should give design team a rough idea how much the ID investment will be required for new product. This show that the range of the expenditure of ID is tremendous for a product with relatively little user interaction. For example, this industry type equipment cost the ID only around 10,000. You can see industrial food processing, handle health, desktop computer, they only around $10,000. So on the other hand, the development of the intensively visual interactive product, for example, like automobile, jumbo jet, you can see they required $1 million of ID effort. So the relative cost of ID as a fraction of the overall development budget also show in the wide range. For a technically sophisticated product, such as a new aircraft, I said just now, jumbos, the ID cost can be in significant relief to the engineering and development expenditures. So very high, very huge for the IDs. So that is how important is ID to a product. So we will discuss on the ergonomic factors or ergonomic needs on this slide. So how important is easy to use, for example? How important is easy of use? Easy of use may be extremely important both for frequently used products such as office product like printer, photocopiers, and for the infrequently used product such as a fire extinguisher. That is a easy to use function. Easy of use is more challenging if the product has multiple features. If have multiple features, we need to think more for the easy to use. And mode of operation, for example, that may confuse and frustrate the user. We need to tackle about that in terms of how easy when interface with the user. So when easy is a use, when easy of the use is the important criteria. So industrial design will need to ensure that the features of the product effectively communicate their function. So how important is easy of maintenance? How important of easy of maintenance, for example? If the product need to be served or repaired frequently, this easy of maintenance is very important, very crucial. For example, a user should be able to clear a jam paper in the printer or photocopier machine easily, because when we print something, we not wait the technician come. We need to handle by ourselves to clear the jam paper in the printer. Or then again, it's critical that the features of the product communicate, maintains, repairs, procedure to the users. However, however, in the many cases, for example, in many cases, a more desirable solution is to eliminate the need of maintenance entirely. It's like maintenance free, for example. So they eliminate all the function of maintenance inside their product. So that is how they tackle the user to buy their product. And then how many user interaction are required for the product function, product to function, for example. So in general, the more interaction user with the product, for example, the more product will depend to the ID. The more ID designer should involve in the design this product. For example, you can see the doorknob. We open the door, we use doorknob. So typically require only one interaction. We just pull or push the doorknob by open the door. So another thing is a laptop, for example. Laptop computer may require a dozen of user interaction, all of which the industrial design must understand the depth of the user requirement, user need, how they use. So this each interaction may require a different design approach and need additional research of design on this particular part. So how novel the user interaction need? How novel user interaction need, for example? So a user interface require incremental improvement to an existing design will be relatively straightforward to design, such as a button of a new desktop computer mouse, for example. Or more novel user interface may require substantial research and feasibility studies, such as a click wheel on the early Apple iPod, for example. in the music fair. So iPod introduced click wheel. So they need a more philosophy study on that. So what are the safety issues? What is the safety issues? All product have the safety consideration, for example. For some product, this can present significant challenge to the design team. For example, the safety concern in design of the toys, for example. Toys, they need more safety concern on that. So the toys, they have more concentrate on the ID rather than computer mouse, new computer mouse. So that is on the ergonomic needs, but also we have aesthetic view for the product. So we call it aesthetic need. So it's a visual product differential required. So the product will with stable market and technology are highly depend on ID to create aesthetic appeal and visual difference. So there is number one. And number two, how important are pride of ownership, image and fashion. So they will create the how important in the pride of ownership, image and fashion. So a customer perception of the product is the part based upon it aesthetic appeal. So they need the appearance and attractive appearance product may be associated with the high fashion and image, and then will likely create a strong sense pride among the owners. So this may similarity be true for the product that look and feel rugged or conservative. When such characteristics are important, ID, industrial design will play a critical role in determining the product ultimate success. So then will an aesthetic product motivate the team? So a product that is aesthetically appealing can generate a sense of team pride among the design and among the manufacturing staff. So the team pride have motivate the and then unify the everyone associated with the project, work hard on the project. So they know what they design for now, what the drawing like. So they can work hard on that. And earlier ID concept, they give a team concentrate a vision of the end of the result of the development effort. They know, they can see, for example, they find out there is an example for the how does the industrial design establish a corporate identity with the product. So a lot of product here, so you can see the corporate identity derived from the visual style of the organization, for example. So a factor for that effect, the firm positioning in the market. So they give values of company identity emerge primarily through what the people can see throughout their product. So they use in the advertising, logo, signage, uniform, building, packaging, and so on and so forth. So all these contribute to create a corporate identity. So in the product-based company, ID, industrial design play an important role in determining the company identity. So industrial design determining a product style, which is directly related to the public perception of their company. So when the company product maintain consistent and recognizable appearance, visually equity is established, consistent look and feel may be associated with their product, like color, form, like style, even their features. So when a firm, when the company enjoy the positive reputation from this valuable ID designs with the quality for future product, they will create a more in the future products. So some company they that use effectively ID to establish visual equalities and corporate identity through their product line, such as you can see here, Rolex watch, Apple computer, Macintosh, Motorola flip phone, BMW, Lazarica, Brown's product appliance. So they use a corporate design identity to show their brand. So nowadays, people also choose the brand to buy some product as well. All right. So we go for the industrial design process. So many large companies have their internal industrial design department. A small company, maybe they tend to use a contract service for ID service. They buy for certain project, they hire for certain project. Like a consultant firm, they have also consultant firm in the ID design, industrial design. So in other case, industrial designer should participate fully on the cross-functional product development teams. Within this team, engineer will generally follow a process to generate and evaluate the concept for the technical features of the product. So in the similar manners, the most industrial designer follow a process for designing of the aesthetic ergonomic of the product. Although this approach may be different, varies amongst the firm, the company, but the natures of the project, the industrial designer generate multiple concepts and then work with the engineers to narrow down this option through series of the evaluation step, through several research, through several process of analysis and evaluations. And then specifically the ID industrial design process can be through as a consisting the following phase, like investigation, customer needs, conceptualization, preliminary refinements, further refinement, and final concept selection, control, drawing, model, coordination with engineering, manufacturing, and external vendor. So we go one by one for this process, how the industrial investigation of the customer need in the industrial design. So I think you already learned about process design before in the manufacturing engineering class. For example, in the process design as well, we need to involve with the customer needs. We need to investigate the customer demand, customer problem, customer need. So the product team begin with the documenting, with the documentation to find out and to identify the customer need. So because the industrial design are very skilled, and then recognizing and at many levels, so the issues involved, for example, involving user interaction, for example, ID involvement, very important and needed in this process. So we need to interview, we need to evaluate, to analyze their opinion from the users as well. So ID involvement very important, and then need whether in the beginning or in the middle of the process. For example, in the researching customer needs, for example, for a new medical instrument, the team would study the relation for the medical, like operating room, interview the physician, doctors, nurse, conduct a focus group, and then discuss among them. So why involve the marketing, engineering, ID, industrial design, certainly lead to common comprehensive goal, comprehensive understanding of the customer need for the whole team. So they allow the industrial, the ID to gain understanding in the interaction between user and the user and the product. So we can know better why they need this one, why user need this one. So we know the user interaction between product. So unlike many development effort in the RAS project for Motorola, for example, they did not rely heavily upon the focus group or formal marketing research, but Motorola believe that the higher level of their surrounding, for example. So the Motorola company, they depend to their workers inside their employees to find out how they need in terms of product, what their handphone look like. They survey among their employees to understand the evolution of the user need. So that is the way we can conduct as well. So the marketing personnel stress the importance of the Motorola leadership inform factor and style. So engineering supply information on technical limitation involving material and geometry of component. So Motorola research on customer perception is quality in mobile phone relief. Why lightweight was desirable? Why? So the phone density was also critical, so resulting in targeted the specification for overall density. So they study, they make research, they find out that is the best to produce the thinnest phone for the from the user requirement for, from the Motorola staff, their employees itself. And then number two is the conceptualization. So once the customer need identify and then we understand the needs, the industrial design help the team to do a conceptualization of the product. So during the concept generation stage, engineer naturally focus their attention upon finding solution to the technical sub-function of the product. So like concept generation, I think you already familiar with this concept generation. You already studies in the Frost-Flammage class, I think, in the concept generation. So at this time, the industrial designer concentrate upon creating the product form and then user interface. So industrial designer make a simple sketch, known as a thumbnail sketch. We can say it as thumbnail sketch for each concept. So this sketch are the fast and inexpensive medium for expressing idea and evaluating the possibilities. So we can use this one to see, to research, to collect the data, to brainstorm with the what we call it, with the appearance, with the visualization of the product itself. So after that, we go for this is example concept sketch, so concept sketch of the RAS phone project. So the proposed, you can see here, the proposed concept maybe they have mesh and combine with the technical solution under exploration. So the concept are grouped and evaluated by the team according to the customer need and then technical feasibility study, FS, feasibility study, cost, and manufacturing consideration. So you can find more about concept selection in the previous chapter to detail up how they use to find the best concept, either using several metrics like push metric, like house of quality. So all this one can use to find the best concept. So next we go for the preliminary studies, preliminary refinement. So you can see refinement for the ideas. So in this phase, industrial designer build a model for the most promising concept. So when they have a concept, they choose already the best concept, they build the model for the most best concept that they choose. So we have the soft model. Soft model are typical made in full scale using form, using cardboard. So they are a second faster method in this process. Only before that you can make this one sketching by the form. That is the faster one, but this one you can use another form to make 3D. We call it soft model. So they are using to evaluate the concept. Same, they need to use this form to evaluate the design, the geometry. So they will evaluate the concept. So this generally quite rough. This model are invaluable because they are allowed development team to express. They just can see this model to express, to visualize the product in terms of 3D design. So the concept evaluate by ID, by industrial design. So we also have engineer inside the team, marketing personnel, potential customers, so management. They can see and can feel and can touch this product. So they can give the opinion, give the idea, and then we can modify the model itself later on. So typically, a designer will build as many as model during this stage. They can build as many as possible during this stage, depend to their budget, time, and then the concept are particularly difficult to visualize, require more models. So if the model is very complicated, sophisticated, for example, they require more model to visualize rather than simple product. Okay. So this is a soft model. There is hard model. So you can see here these two model using in the this RAS Motorola handphone. They use an industrial designer to produce rough soft model. For example, just now I said to see overall size of phone, proportions, shape from the proposed design. So the particular concern was we can feel the product in our hand, so we can use it like actual models. So this attribute can only be assessed using physical models. So a soft model from this phone project made using RP, additive manufacturing, using the rapid prototyping technologies. So they use a 3D printer to print layer by layer to come out with these soft models. So they also can made by from wood, plastic, metal. So whatever uh, uh, to show that the physical product, texture product. So some product can have hard model, for example, can have workings, button. You can push the button, you can slide, you can flip the phone, you can move, you can see. So this call is prototype for the hard model. So because the prototype is very costly, they need to have some budget to produce it. So maybe they can produce a few product only. So for many type of product, so hard model fabricated to see the size, density, weight, distribution of the finishing, surface finishing, colors. So they can feel like a actual product. So hard model usually used by industrial design or engineer to make a further refining in the final concept specification. So this model can be used to gain additional feedback from customer actually. So customer can try it, can feel it, and then they give more feedback. And then also can use for advertisement, for example. They will launch the new product we launching shortly. So they can use for the advertisement to promote the product in the introduction stage. So we can sell this concept to our customers, and then we can sell to the senior manager within the company itself to promote their product. And then step number 4 is further refinement and a final concept selection. So at this stage, you can see here industrial design switch from the soft model, from the hard model information intensively to the drawing. They turn all this to the final stage intensively to the drawing. So we call it as a final process rendering. So rendering shows the detail of the design, and often they visit the product in use. So draw in the 2 or 3 dimension, they can convey a great deal of the information about the product itself. So rendering process are often used for color studies, for testing, to customer reception, to the proposed product features and functionality. So rendering from this project, rendering from this Motorola project shows in these figures, you can see they have a phone at the final refinement step before selecting a concept to the create hub model. So these model are still technically non-function. They still non-function, but yet they close to replicate the final design with a very realistic look and feel. So you can see there is like actual product to see in this rendering process. So last number 5, we still have another one. So number 5 is control drawing of models. So in the control drawing or model stage, so industrial design will complete their development process by making control drawing. They make a control drawing, control models of the final concept. So control drawing or model document their functionality, their features, size, colors, surface finishing, key dimensions, and then they are not detailed part drawing. They are not detailed part drawing, but they mention all these things, these features. So normally we call it as a engineering drawing. We call it as a engineering drawing. They can be used to fabricate. This drawing can be used to be fabricate the part final design model or others prototype. And then this typical this drawing or model give to the engineering team for detailed design of the part. And they have a detailed design of the part, and then this shows in the control model on the CAD models. And then from there, we made a coordination with the engineering, manufacturing, and external vendors. So the industrial design must continue to work closely with the engineering, with the manufacturing personnel throughout the subsequent product development process. So some industrial design consulting company offer quite comprehensive product development service, including detailed engineering design and selection the management from outside vendors of the materials, tooling, components, and assembly service. They offer that several service to the team to have industrial design in terms of consulting service. And then management of the industrial design process also, we have two here, technology-driven or product or user-driven product. So for the technology-driven product, the primary characteristic of the technology-driven product is core benefit based on its technology. So the product core is a technologies. So its ability is a capability accomplish a specific technical task. They have a main specific on the technical. So why this product may have important like ergonomic, aesthetic requirement. A consumer will more likely to purchase the product primarily for its technical performance. They see a performance of the product, not for their ergonomic, their aesthetic. So for example, a hard disk drive in the computer. So hard disk drive, normally we put inside the computer. So normally this product, when you buy, you need to see their technical abilities, their specification, how many gig, how fast. So that is the criteria you decide when you buy a hard disk drive. So that is called a technology-driven product. So so in this case, no matter how their ergonomic, their aesthetic of the product, you not concern more about that. You not concern more about that unless they can fulfill their fulfill your requirement on in terms of the technology or in terms of technical specification given to make your works be more faster when using the new hard disk drive. So it follows that the 4 development team of the technology-driven product, the engineer technical requirement will be paramount at this stage. They will dominate development effort to find the best technology or best specification for their product at this stage. So in this stage, and this technology-driven product, so the role of ID is limited. They are always limited, but they still have the role, but limited version. So they maybe focus on the in terms of packaging of the product itself. So they determine the external like appearance to ensure the product communicate to the wide or to interact with the user when they see the product also. So that is only the outside like packaging or appearance of the product. Okay, number 2 is the user driven. You can see here the user driven product is based on the users satisfaction, user satisfied. So the user-driven product is derived from the functionality, their function. For technology derived from their technical requirements, but this one from their function, their functionality, because they will interact by user. So many user will interface this product in terms of aesthetic appeal or ergonomic appeal. So typically there is a high degree of user interaction of their product. So accordingly, the user interface must be number one, safe on the safety issues, on the easy to use, easy to maintain. So there is three most important user interface need to see in when we design or we involve with the user-driven product. So the product external appearance is very important to differentiate the product, to see whether this product look like. So we can differentiate by appearance of the product. That is very important to create the pride to the ownership as well. So for example, the office chair, for example, because there is a large use. So the office chair is a user-driven product. So why this product may be used? They not think about technical sophisticated, but they need to focus more on the ID, industrial design consideration, more important in that rather than technical requirement for the office chair. So the role of the engineer still important, still have in development of the office chair to determine the size, the technical features inside the product. But since the product is the user-driven, they need to involve more on the ID designer to design more comfort chair, more ergonomic chairs. So they focus on this ergonomic aspect or aesthetic value of the product. Okay. And then this figure show the classified the varieties of the familiar product. So rarely does a product belong at one or two extreme. So you can see technology-driven this side and then user-driven this side. This classification can be dynamic. For example, when the company develop a product based on the new core technology, the company is often interested in bring the product to the market as quick as possible. They need to bring to the market as soon as possible, because the little emphasis in place on how the product looks or used. And then the initial role of ID, small for this technical driven product. So however, competitor will enter the market. So we'll see the product. They see the product already. Maybe they we not say the copy, but they make a competitive product to fight with the product. They need more. Maybe they have same technologies, same specification. For example, in the hard disk, they have the 1 terabyte hard disk. So when you choose at this moment, maybe you choose on the branding. You need to find more brand, the familiar brand to buy, because the specification already same level. Or you can see the packaging, their aesthetic values, appearance for the hard disk itself. Even you cannot see every day. You put inside in the your computer, but you always see on these particular values, features to decide whether you want to buy what brand or what products. So the product ID very important in this process. And then for example, one more example is the laptop in the Apple MacBooks. So in the MacBooks, Apple laptop, they use in the beginning, the Apple Macintosh, they fight for their operating system, for example, in that time. So they produce a lot of very powerful Macintosh operating system to compete. But lately, they go for the aesthetic or ergonomics product look, appearance looks. So they more focus on the creative design to appeal to get the product sustained in the market. So they can fight with the product based on their appearance. So maybe the technology at par, but the people, the user can see, can interact with the product based on the appearance, how they want, how the product design, how the product look like. So they can be adding more values to the product. So this another example here. So you can see which one, technology driven or user driven. Which one? Sorry. So you can see here the car, sport car. So sport car, they initially, when you find out the old model of the sport car, the shape look like a box, just not very aerodynamic, not very aesthetic value, don't have ergonomics looks. They just have typical design for the car, normal design, but they have very fast, very can drive very fast speeding. So normally in that time, the people choose for the sport car using that particular features. They need faster. They need how many seconds can go in the 100 meter, for example. So that is the requirement for choosing the racing car for the sport car. But nowadays, you can see so many sport car in the market. So many sport car. So now the maker of the sport car, they design, they make aerodynamic design, aesthetic values, and then ergonomic inside the comfortable seat, everything inside. Instead the fasting car, instead the moving, the speed, the technical one. So the product become more user driven. But this product actually is a technical driven product. But nowadays, some maker, maybe they already have that technology, but they more focus on the user driven. So we can say that this is technology driven, but now maybe some maker, they more focus on the user driven. So for sure, shoes, we can see that a lot of design from Nike, Adidas, Puma, they have same design, same shape for the shoes, but the looks, the appearance, the ergonomic, the colors, that is different. That is based on the user driven. Same to the desktop. They have so many because desktop always like that, the shape. So they come very flat, thinner, flat, curved screen. So there is they use technology as well, but from now they use a driven user-driven technology, user-driven as a drive to the market to choose their product based on aesthetic values, based on their appearance, based on their colors of the monitor. So that is how we see in terms of these three things, in terms of ID, industrial design involved in this making product more attractful, more can have more user interaction. So similar for this one. So you can see all this product as a user driven. You can see this one still have an engineer involved to making the shape, the materials using for thermal, for heating, but normally they use more on the user driven. ID designer more involved in this design or product design stage for this one. And then this one, you can see the test desktop, and then the chair. There is more ergonomic, aesthetic design values there, the colors. So there is more on the user driven, but this one more on technology driven, because the shape you can see here, just to show, to display the things, but the powerful workstation, we can say that is a powerful workstation using high spec technology computer. So there is more technology driven, there is more on user driven. So the challenge, the challenge in terms of make industrial design more success in this field, in this world, they has need more people, need people more desire into the ergonomics, the design, aesthetic value. So that is desirable of the people. So if the people don't like, that is the challenge we need to tackle, to solve about that. That's why when we make in the process, the user need, user identification is very important. That is a user needs and requirement. And then business viable, the company vision and mission, in terms of their budget and their strategies of business. So if the company doesn't like, not fit their vision, not fit their missions, so we cannot do, we cannot produce the more what you call it, the design part using the ID, because the ID design also need the budget, need the cost for visualize that part. And then technical, this one also related to their technologies inside companies. So for example, there is they have a capability, they have machines, they have availability to produce the part, to design the part. So that is all related to the technology or technical. That is all three challenges, people, business, and technical, always involved inside this industrial design, either in terms of making decision or making it effort inside your design process. And then timing involved. Timing involved in ID process. They have two technology-driven product timing for the ID involvement, and then user-driven timing involvement, ID involvement. So typically the ID industrial design is incorporated into the product development process during the process phase. You can see the user-driven and technology-driven, they have different timing of involvement. So you can see the technology-driven product, normally they involve in the, because they focus on the technical in the beginning. They focus on the technical to realize the specification given. So they maybe for the ID maybe come in the late, in the later after their phase and their process development. So they focus on the packaging. They make in terms of I call it the appearance of the looks of the product. So that is all involvement on the ID. So the timings letters, not in the so all the phase, because the first phase they focus on the technology development, on the product development, but at the end, they will go for the ID involvement. So that is all for the technology-driven product. But for the user-driven product, they come out, they involve with the ID development entirely, product development process, from beginning, from the beginning. That they involve with the sub process of product development, and parallelly, not separate but parallelly, because the design process we will conduct, but at the same time the ID industrial design process also will take a part. So they will integrate together to find out the best concept, the best solution for their design. So the technical problem, for example, inside the process for the user driven, they will see also the ID solution to settle the problem inside design process or design stage, to find out the best concept that can be used as a user's driver. So the design activity typically demand substantially more development effort rather than the technical issues inside this user driven. And then you can see here the chart can summarize here. So from the planning until a product ramp up, you can see the technology driven product involvement, and then the user product involvement. So you can see the contribution of the industrial design process. So the activities began fair late for the program, for the technology. They began late, but for the user driven, they start earlier, start focus for the together with the manufacturing specification, identify the specification concept. So they start earlier, they start together to find the best solution of their product. And then the quality assessment of the ID. Assessing the quality of the ID for the finished product, the very subjective task, very subjective task. However, we can qualitative determine whether the ID has accomplished its goal by considering each aspect or the product that is influenced by ID. So here is the 5 category for the evaluating product. This category roughly mesh the critical goal. What we discussed in the early slide. We have 5 critical goals for the ID. So this is a mesh for that. So we use this category to develop the specific question allowing the product to be rated along the these 5 dimensions, like user interface for quality. So based on user interface, quality from the user side, rating how easy product to be used. How easy product to be used, interface quality is related to the product appearance, their feeling, model, interaction, and then the features, do the features or the product effectively communicate to the operation, to the user, for example. So is it the product is can use anytime or safe, for example. That is anytime with the safety, all the safety features. So there is all user interface is based on quality question, based on user interface. And then emotional appeal. Operational appeal, this is the rating of the overall consumer appeal of the product. So appeal is achieved in part through appearance, their feel, sounds, and smell. So is it the product attractive? Is it exciting? Is it the product can express their quality? So there is emotion. We can see that the feeling of the user when they use the product. We can buy something with the high quality product. We can feel like something with pride about that. At very attractive product. We feel that we want to have that product. That is an assessment based on emotional feeling. And then number 3 is ability to maintain or repair the product. So this is a ranking of the how easy the product maintain or repair. So because when we use something, we use product, we always thinking the warranties, the maintenance. So that is very concerned among us actually when we buy the product. So ability to maintain and repair is very important. So maintain and repair should be considered along with the other user interaction. So because we need to have some technician to repair, so to look of our product. So that is how we see that how easy, what is the cost when we need to repair our product. So there is also assessment on the quality IDs. And then appropriate use of the resources. So the resources, when we talk about resources, how well of resources, like when we talk about that, we still feel that the satisfaction of the customer need, the values, the qualities. The resources is typically refer to the money, the expenditure of the ID, how much we spend, the cost, in terms of we invest on the ID. If we don't have any resources, we can use the consultant, but we need still have cost or money allocate to do this project. This factor tend drive cost, such as manufacturing, their what you call it, prototype, everything lah. And then number 5 is product differentiation. Product differentiation. Product differentiation rating is unique, and this very consistency with the corporate identity. With corporate identity just now we discussed about that. So the differentiations arise from the appearance. For example, we the customer can see this product and then can identify, can distinguish because their appearance, their looks. So that is the product differentiation. So we the customer remember, for example, when we see, we can differentiate the product. We can see this is the Adidas brand, this Nike brand, this Puma brand. So we can see based on the corporate identity. The customer can remember their product. Then we can use as a consumer in the advertisement to see and fit their corporate identities. So this is for the product differentiation. And then next is ID expenditures. ID expenditures. So actually, to invest, ID design is worst investment. Actually, worst investment. So in the company, manager we often want to know why, what for, the specific product, what is the benefit, business operation in general, how much we need to invest for their ID design. Because in the design process, they always conduct the same process, but for when they involve ID, they have another cost. So how much effort they should invest on the industrial design? So why this is very important? Because this also difficult answer to this question, because several costs we need to consider inside this ID costing. For example, for the ID cost breakdown, you can see from here, you learn already direct cost, feed cost, variable cost. So the cost of ID industrial design include on direct cost in terms of costing. So direct cost, what is direct cost? Direct cost is a overhead, feed cost for their company. So direct cost is the quantity that determine the numbers, the type of design used, duration of the project, the number of model required for the prototype to make a model, to make the concept, plus a material used, the form, for example, you use to make a part for 3D part. So all this one equal the cost. How when you implement, you need to put some costing of money to buy to invest on that. So this one all consider as a direct cost for ID service. So even you use what you call, you hire from the consultant for ID, that one also the cost for the direct cost for the ID service. So you also have manufacturing costs to implement ID creation. Manufacturing mean that you need to find some cost to make a prototyping. When you have a hard model, for example, you need to manufacture the hard model to implement the ID creation. So there is a manufacturing cost for ID. And then manufacturing cost also become increase. For example, when you use without using the ID, maybe your product not have a ergonomic shape, for example, not have the high tolerance for surface finishing, for example. So you can produce with the normal machine. So the cost is very not so much the costing for the using, for example, 3-axis machine for CNC. But when you have a good design using ID, very sophisticated, very ergonomic, very aesthetic, you need to put color on it. So you use a different machine for CNC because normal CNC cannot produce that tolerance, cannot achieve that one. So you buy a new machine, 9-axis CNC, very sophisticated CNC machine to do this surface finishing process. So the manufacturing cost to implement the ID creation become increasing in this ID use design. So there is a manufacturing cost as well when you implement the ID creation. And then the time cost. The time cost is a penalty, we call it as penalty associated with the extended lead time when you involve with the ID attempt. So industrial design attempt is to refine the ergonomic itself, to ergonomic needs itself, for example, aesthetic values need for that product, for example. So you need to have more multiple design interaction for prototype. So you need to have lead time, a delay on that one to produce several product. So the cost for the extend lead time to produce the requirement interaction between customers. So to fulfill their ergonomic, their aesthetic value to the product. That is a ID related cost. So it, of course, they have a cost for the manufacturing itself to ergonomic and aesthetic, but also the time lead extend for that particular case to extend to fulfill the customer need on that ID requirement. So this is we discussed about in this topic just now. We use industrial design for Motorola RAS. So you can see here, industrial design are responsible for the aspect of the product that relate to the user experience. So you can see the phone very used as every day. They use aesthetic appeal, how it look, how sound, how feel, even though how smell is it. So the function, the functional interface using the keyboard here, button, display. So this is a 2004 phone, not today, because today they use all the touchscreen. But I use this one as an example because this is a very good example for product improvement from Motorola. So you can see here they developed from 1989, and then now, not now, 2004, and now we have a flat screen, touch screen. So there is a rapid development on the phone. So one more thing I want to share with you is the battery development. So you can see here, the phone is too big. They have a carry battery here. So that's why the phone looks bigger than this one. So the battery technology is also developed very rapidly in this time. But now also you can have a good battery for the phone, can sustain over 24 hours, for example. So that even thinner, but they can sustain, very powerful. But in that time, they need to make bigger to sustain 6 hours or 5 hours phone, because during 6 hours, 7 hours, there is a normal work for us in that time. So they normally phone using on the office hours only. In the night, we just close, and then we not use a phone anymore. So that's why the battery is very important. You can see the development. And then the screen technology, you can see here, no screen. And then they in early 2000, you can see the screen introduced here, and then VGA screen. Now we said VGA screen, but now we have a very attractive technology for the screen, touch screen. So you can see that is how different. Also, you can see the button here, very what you call it, the button quite different from here. The technology also have different here. So now we don't have use this one anymore. We expand the screen size. So that is the development for the product in terms of technology, and then ID design for the phone. So we use this Motorola phone as an example because Yuri's textbooks make this discover for this research, for this development is very well. So I think it is worth to learn from this Motorola case study. So another example and a point of view for the industrial design, you can see the chair, for example. I put here chair example. So they the history of the chair, they extensively developed since early 3000 bachelor century. When I Google it, I found that the earlier destination period of Egypt, they said that Egypt developed the first chair in the art craft movement. So that is the quite long for chair, but you can see here the shape maintained until now, because the purpose is for we are sit on the chair and then use a chair. But the development is very good, very attractive to see, because from the simple chair we can cover. Now we have cover cloth, leather, from the carved wood. So the chair development is very good example. So in this view, you can see the most important function of the chair, because to have to find and to sustain, such as our posture, to stress, become sit in good relaxing, happy sitting, no back pain. As you can see, there is the requirement from the users. And then chair involved with they develop from the 1,000 years until now, and they have so many design. So even we have a ID department in our School of Design in our UTB. They also have studies on the design, comfort design, ergonomic style. So they have a research that one. So they have different chair, different shape, size. Now we have a good modern chair, creating industrial design coming to make a difficult shape, use of metal, use dark color. They have open space for comfortable to feel like comfort. So this one is very good for ID to look in terms of aesthetic values and ergonomic features inside design. So that is all about ID design class today. So for the summaries from this class, you can from this chapter, so we already introduced the topic of industrial design. So we already discussed about the benefit of product in terms of product quality, how ID process take place, and then the primary mission of ID is to design the aspect of the product that related to the user's interface for example, aesthetic values, ergonomic needs. That is two important keys factor we need to consider in terms of ID design. And then the most product can benefit some ways of or another from ID. The more product is seen or used by people, and the more it will depend on the good ID in the success. So interaction with the people, when the people look at the product, they will choose our product. So there is the product interaction. So we already discussed on that. And then product characteristic, product characterized by high degree of user interface. So when they categorize as a high degree of user interface, they need to appeal aesthetic value, very important. So the ID involved throughout the development is very important. So the early involvement of ID design, they ensure the critical aesthetic and user requirement we tackle, not overlooked and then ignored by technical team, because the technical team always want to fulfill the technical, but ID designer, they see the in terms of different values, different angles. So the user interface product need involved by ID design at the beginning stage. So when the product success rely more on the technology, like technology driven we discussed just now. So the ID integrated in development will come later. So they focus on the ID and the technology first, and the product itself first, and then they come out with the ID, and the ID will coming in terms of the finishing, in terms of packaging, in terms of appearance for the product itself. So that is a technology driven. And then active involvement on ID on the product development team can help to promote good communication between group, because group, they have several engineers inside: electrical, mechanical, manufacturing, marketing engineer. You learn about concurrent engineering. They involve parallelly with the all department, even customer, even stakeholder involved in this group for design. So when we have ID designer involved inside this group project, they have good coordinate some communication facilities to coordinate well between group in terms of product, because they can generate the 3D design, the concept, so the group can see the actual product well. in terms of technical, because maybe technical guys only write down the spec, the specification on paper. So maybe that is very boring for actually from another participation people to see that. For example, the customer, they cannot see the product based on the word what they write, what the technical guy write. But from ID's involvement, a person inside the group, they can promote the good communication between function group. They give the more visual on the product. So that's all the summary for today class. I hope you can understand well. So any question from the floor? I received the question before we end our class today.